Hey everybody, today I'm going to teach you how to make a pumpkin pie just in time for Thanksgiving. That's how you make a pumpkin pie.
Today we're looking at the RS4 gimbal that DJI sent me to test out, and I gotta tell you, this thing has a lot of capabilities. I'm just gonna cover 5 of the things that really stood out to me initially because there is so much you can do with this gimbal. I don't want to be making an hour-long video, so look for more videos to come in the future with tutorials on tips, how to use it, how to set up, all kinds of modes and what it can do for you. But we wanted to do a quick little video here of just making some pumpkin pie since it's Thanksgiving. By the way, happy Thanksgiving to you. And see what you can do with it. The first thing that really stood out to me with this is how quickly you can change from the landscape mode to the portrait mode. Vertical video has been huge now, despite what I thought like 5 years ago and how much I didn't like it. But with things like Instagram, TikTok, people want to get higher quality videos with nice cameras and with gimbals. So we wanted to start this video out with making it look like someone is making a reel. But all you have to do with this gimbal is loosen this part, unhook, turn it sideways, hook it back in, tighten it, and you're good to go. And the same thing when you're done with that, pull it out, stick it back in there, and you're all set. You do have to do a little bit of extra balancing, of course, because you're changing the way your camera's on the gimbal, but it makes it extremely easy to be able to use that mode. So when it comes to the gimbals and all the different modes, it really made me think about how can I incorporate these different types of movements into my shots here for this scene. And so the next thing that it helped us to do was the dolly zoom, which is something that I typically always had to get a tripod out, set up a slider on top of it, get my camera out, hook up a focus wheel onto the zoom ring so that I can get a smooth focus throughout the movement. But now with this little motor here, if you go with the accessory kit version, you can mount this along with your camera to the gimbal, hook it up, sync it up with the gimbal, and use it to do that dolly zoom type of shot with the gimbal. I was able to assign it to this roll wheel here, so I can simply just move my finger on this wheel as I'm moving the camera further away from the subject. And dolly zooms are one of those cool shots that can add a different dimension to your video. I actually have a whole nother video showing examples of dolly zooms, when to use it, and how it can make your video look good. And I'll have that video link for you to look at so you can get more ideas on how to improve your next video. Next up is the FPV, which is a mode I don't normally use with gimbals. Essentially what it does is wherever you move sideways, up and down, it's gonna follow you everywhere. So I was trying to think, how can I incorporate this in? What I ended up doing was this one shot here when she's shaking up the condensed milk, trying to go back and forth with it. It looks like a slow motion shot, but we actually did it where she's just shaking it slower, and I moved the gimbal along back and forth with it, so it's tipping sideways as we're doing it to try to stay somewhat in line with the movement. And then you add some sound effects and it really helps out. And next up is the 360 spin, and that is something until the last few years with gimbals you haven't really been able to do unless you had a big camera rig. And I've been seeing it more and more in videos. Again, I have another video I made that I'll link for you that shows different examples of how you could use this move to add an interesting dimension to your shot. But when I was trying to figure out how could I use this mode in this video we're doing, and I remember back to watching a Pirates of the Caribbean movie with the kids where we're showing a compass turning and the camera started turning along with it. So I thought, well, we have to mix up the batter so I can just get up above it and then start doing that spin mode and trying to follow along with the batter as it's being poured, as the condensed milk's going in there, and it makes it look cool because of that swirling pattern that starts as the milk is being poured in. Something else that really helped out that I didn't really even consider before I got this gimbal, because none of my other gimbals had it, there's a mount on this handle here, so I was able to take my external monitor and mount it onto here and then hook it up to the camera, and that helps tremendously with some of these shots because you get some really weird angles with the camera pointing down but you're back and trying to see the screen. You can just take this and turn it any which way you want while it's hooked up to your gimbal. You'll want to get a smaller HDMI cable if you do that, because if you have a big thick one that's hard to kind of move and it's heavy, it's going to throw off the balance. But if you get a thinner cable, then it just kind of hangs there and doesn't really get in the way. But that was definitely very helpful with a lot of these shots, being able to easily see what's in view, what's in focus, get the shots that you want even quicker. And of course, one of the best things about gimbals is that you can get a lot of long takes with a lot of movement in the shots. It makes it really dynamic with the camera staying extremely smooth. You just have to learn how to walk correctly. The final shot in the video, I wanted to get a long take of her going from the fridge, setting down the Cool Whip, going to get the pie out of the oven, following her back around as she's getting the Cool Whip on it. And we were able to get that whole scene with just a couple times practicing ahead of time, and it worked out great. So gimbals open up a lot of possibilities. I definitely recommend this gimbal here. I remember back my very first gimbal that I ever bought and camera was the DJI Osmo when it first came out. Small little camera on a gimbal there. It was really useful. I recorded one of my first videos that went viral with that camera. And now to be able to actually be working with DJI with some of their top end equipment is really just a dream come true. So I can't recommend this enough. It is a really good product. There's so much with this coming. I'm gonna make more videos to show you how you can incorporate it even more in your videos to get some cool shots. But if you don't have a gimbal yet, or you don't have the money for it, all you have is a tripod or a monopod while you're saving up to get a gimbal. I have some other videos I can link for you that shows you all kinds of cool tricks you can do with tripods or monopods to get similar effects you can do with gimbals and other devices like sliders. It's not going to be as good, but it'll get you by until you can afford to get something like this. So if you have any questions about the DJI RS4, post it down in the comments and I'll try to help you out the best I can there. There are a lot of different options for this, from just the basic gimbal to all kinds of accessories you can get along with it. And I'll have the products linked in the description as well for you so you can check those out. But if this video is helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and check out the channel for a whole lot more on things like lighting, framing, camera settings, all kinds of stuff to help you improve with your videos. And I'm gonna leave you with the final product one more time, so I will see you soon.
Hey everybody, today I'm going to teach you how to make a pumpkin pie just in time for Thanksgiving. That's how you make a pumpkin pie.